Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me and I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
You text me then I'll text you back.
Text me then I'll text you back.
TikTok, you don't stop.
I will help you make your paper stack.
Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now?
205-964-52439. You know. 205-964-52439. You know.
Try that US.
Hey guys, can you hear us now?
Can you hear us now? Go back to that USB code.
Okay.
Can you hear us now?
Yep, good.
Okay. Go back to that US. So it was on
Is
the
that
Scarlet.
Yeah.
It was on the Scarlet.
Scarlet USB.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So anyway, to start this over, we're going to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate without using your cash or credit. Got a new mic set up, trying to just improve things. Spend a little change, try to give you a better experience. So hopefully we will accomplish that today. If you want to join us and get your questions answered live, get pushed to the front of the line. You know, you can text the word Gator to this number, 205-964-5243, and we'll answer your questions live here on the live stream. So that gives you an opportunity to ask multiple questions and to get those answered. So what else we got? This one-page contract is the glue that makes everything work. So this is your superpower. So text the word contract to this number if you want to get access to it for free. Also, it'll show you how to fill it out for sellers and buyers and how to get it signed virtually. The other thing here is text the word MUD to MUD. This is concerning land, dirt, mud. If you want to know what to say to sellers that own land and the lingo, how to build lists, text the word MUD. If you want to partner with me on apartment buildings and self-storage, text the word units. Text the word units to this number. In this video, we'll explain how that works. And where's the other one? For the reason most people fail at this business is because they never figure out how to determine if they have a great deal or not. So text the letters GD. Text GD to the number 205-964-5243. Also, people want to know if they have a great deal or not, and they want our opinion on it. They want my opinion or one of my team members' opinion. So we do offer that. We used to do it for free, but now it's today. So if you're interested in getting that information, getting a property comp, an ARV, to tell you what we would offer on it, text FUP for fixed up price, FUP to the number. All right, so we're not on TikTok still, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and Twitter. So what we got?
All right. Everyday Hustle from YouTube said, hold on, let me click on it. Can I submit deals on Dealator where I basically bird dogged?
Technically, if you're going to do that, the only thing you're not going to do that a wholesaler would normally do that would submit a deal, you don't have it on the contract, which means you would have found the property, spoken with the owner, negotiated a great deal, and it's off market. My definition of off market is not for sale anywhere on the internet, which means the numbers work. The owner say they want to sell. You've talked to them, and it's not for sale anywhere on the internet, right? The only thing you didn't do is put it on the contract. So yeah, if you take all those steps, then yeah, you can submit it over. But just send it over properly, blindly, not interested in that. We're not set up to handle that.
All right. Future Goat 96 said, how do I comp a property without knowing the square feet?
Without knowing the square feet? Sometimes, depending on the county, sometimes that information just for some reason is not recorded. And so it makes it difficult. And we still try to go through it. We can just probably just look, if we could get a visual of it from Google, and if you can see the property next door and they look similar in size or whatever, then you just roll with that as your identifier or the property that you can use to comp or whatever. But if none of them are pulling up on that particular street as far as square footage, then it's just a glitch in the county's records.
All right, the first question on Instagram, what states require a license to flip now?
As far as what I know right now that require a license, Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, and the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. But it's for the city of Philadelphia, it's from my understanding, last time someone brought it to my attention in detail, is that you need a wholesaler's license per se. Then it's more like a business license. You don't have to take a test. You just pay the $500 or so fee, and they do a background check, and boom, they issue the license, to wholesale. We didn't say what the title was today. So is wholesaling real estate for you? I think is what the title of it is. So based on that thumbnail.
All right, Lawrence Williams from YouTube said, I've texted contract to the number multiple times. It sends me to a video, but I've never received the contract yet.
Okay, Lawrence, you know what that means? You didn't watch the video. Because in the video, I explained to you how to access the contract for free. I'm not just sending you a video just to send you a video. I'm sending you the video because it's going to explain, number one, how to access the contract for free, how to fill it out. Even if you don't want to look at the part on how to fill it out, it tells you how to access it, all right, off the top, how to get access to it, which is no secret. You just go to dealator.com, you fill it out there. You have to fill it out, hit generate. The next page is going to allow you to download a filled out contract. But if you're asking for a blank contract, no, that's not available.
All right.
You can type it. You can type it up. It's up to you. I don't own those words, but that's how you access. That means you didn't watch the video.
All right. This one came from Royal K on YouTube. She said, hey, Footman, I've been researching for months and months, finally putting my foot in. Do you have any tips on wholesaling mobile homes with land included?
Okay, if land is included with a mobile home purchase or deal, then okay, now it's more like wholesaling a house at that point. Okay, so now hopefully you have some similar situations you can compare it to. Mobile homes, but like automobiles, they depreciate every day, like a car does, right? And so to try to get the value of the mobile home, right? Ideally, what you'll do is you'll seek out mobile home dealers in the area to see if they what they would pay for this type of mobile home. So, what information do you need to have available for them? You need to know the year it was manufactured, the manufacturer, the size, and since it doesn't have to be moved, that wouldn't be an incurred cost, right? You'll need to know the number of bedrooms and baths, and ideally the condition. They'll probably give you a ballpark on what they will pay for it, right? You may want to call 2 or 3 of them. Okay, so once you do that, so now you have to somewhat evaluate the land. Now, you can do the simple thing and just see what the county says it's worth. Not ideal how to do it, but you're trying to get it at a discount, and I would do 50% of that number. All right, and so that from the opinion you've gotten from the mobile home dealers on the mobile home, and then the land value at 50% should have a decent number. Because the mobile home dealers are going to pay way less than what they'll try to end up selling it for. And so that's where you want to be also, right? If not less. That's assuming you don't have anything to compare it to. Now, some people may have another way of going about it. I'm just saying that's how I would go about it. For a wholesale deal, you know. So.
All right. This is another question on Instagram. I found a few vacant homes. Once I get them under the contract, who is responsible for the title company and also having contractors give estimates?
Okay. So, okay. Say that again, Ken.
So who's responsible for the title company?
Okay. All right. Who's so they want to know who's responsible for the title company. Okay, so now if you're dealing with the seller side of it, you're responsible for the title company. Once you get a buyer involved, which you should wait until you get a buyer involved, because a cash buyer and / investor is because they normally dictate that. Not always, everything's negotiable, but normally they already have those relationships built that they want to deal with, because normally they're number one, bringing all the money to the table, and they normally are paying all closing costs. So I think it's only within reason that they're able to choose who they want to go with. Now, they may be comfortable with who you use or whatever, but normally that's going to be dictated by them. If I'm reading that, that's okay. All right. So yeah, for sure.
The other part of that question was and giving contractors estimates, like having contractors give estimates.
Having them give what was the last part?
I guess.
You can either pay them and ask them what they charge you for 30 minutes of that time, basically an hour, I guess, because it's going to probably have to get there. And or you tell them you're buying the property, you need an estimate on it or whatever. So you can go about it that way.
All right. We have someone in the Gator room, so I'm about to add Miss Tony.
Okay.
All right. I was trying to make sure she was ready. Hello.
Hi.
What's good afternoon? What's happening?
Everybody can see me now?
Everybody can see you, baby girl.
I just had a quick question. I just wanted to know what was the name of the young lady who used to be on there and she would talk about giving you the money to buy the property and to do the rehab?
Oh, Renikia.
Renithia.
Yeah.
Okay. And can I just Google that? Or is it like a
yeah, you can go to fundmynextdeal.com. But she's on Instagram too. Let me see what her thing is.
At Reunique.
Reunique, yeah. RENUNK.
Yeah, REUNK.
Yeah, RE.
Okay.
Yeah. RU. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Where were you live streaming from?
I'm from Akron, Ohio.
Okay, all right. Glad to have you on, Tony.
My phone is breaking up. No. Hello?
No, I'm here.
Okay. That's it. I'm from Akron, Ohio.
Okay, all right. I'm glad to have you on.
Thank you so much for answering my question. I appreciate y'all.
No problem at all. If you don't locate that number, just text me and I'll send it. I'll send you her information.
Okay.
All right, man.
All right. This one came from Arrow Crutchfield on YouTube. They said they had a simple question. Should I get a laptop before I start trying to wholesale houses, or can I get started just using my phone?
You can literally get started by using your phone. The wholesaling existed before smartphones, before laptops, before the internet. So yeah, it makes it a little bit more easy on some things, but you could definitely get away with just using your phone to start. But if you can afford to, it's in your budget, and it doesn't affect your marketing budget, yeah, you will definitely want to take on that expense of a laptop, preferably a Mac.
Get what you can get.
Yeah, get what you can get.
From Walmart.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
The Ace are gonna do the same thing.
They ain't gonna last long.
But then you can, when you get your deal, get what you can get right now, and then you can upgrade to that. See that? You jumping off the porch too soon. This one,
Somebody that just bought a Mac talking.
right. All right. This one came for
paying $1,200 for a laptop wasn't even a consideration.
See them?
Hey, why would I do that? Walmart got them for $300.
I see.
Oh boy.
This one came from Marisha J. She said, "How do you build a relationship with a wholesaler if you do not have cash, but would be using financing? They usually like cash buyers, it seems."
Yes, ma'am. So how do you build a relationship with a wholesaler if you don't? Okay. Yeah, Miss Marisha. Yeah, your buyers need to be cash buyers, or they're using hard money or some form of private lending, which is almost similar to cash. And it doesn't mean they're going to actually show up with a briefcase full of cash. It just means they're not going to use traditional lending from a bank or a traditional mortgage company. Normally, it means they have the cash money in their bank account, or they have access to it. Because of the speed of it, cuts down a lot of the red tape and allows us to do what we need to do. So that's why having someone that needs traditional financing, for the most part, doesn't work. There's some things you can do, but I wouldn't suggest going down that road. It can get gray to black.
All right. Let's see. This one came from Dreams Made Alive. She said, "Is it a good idea to drive for dollars while targeting fire damaged homes?"
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Targeting fire damaged homes or just properties that are obviously distressed like that. If it's not too bad of a fire damage, and sometimes it's hard to tell from the street or whatever. But yeah, you can definitely put them on the list. Sometimes they may be turning into just vacant lot opportunities, depending on the type of neighborhood. Where if you think the pricing is there to do a new construction.
All right. This one says, "Do you use the same closing attorney with every deal, or do you need one in the state that the property is in?"
Well, no, but like I said before, depending on your buyers, you may roam around to several different ones within your market. And normally, they say virtual wholesaling. Or do you need one in the state? And then normally, normally not always, but you close properties. You close with closing attorneys or title companies within that state. It doesn't have to be or whatever, but normally that's how it works.
Yep. All right. This is a question on Instagram. I got some properties around me. I want to JV 50. What do you need from me?
Okay, so first of all, I would really, really strongly advise you to learn the business. That would be the first thing, is take advantage of all these free videos. So now what that does for you is that when you do reach out to those potential sellers, you'll know what to say. When you reach out to them, if they do want to sell and they give you a price, or well, if they give you a price, you'll be able to evaluate to see if it is a deal. If they don't give you a price and make them an offer, then you'll know what to offer. So that's the first thing you can do to try to partner up with me. You need to educate yourself first so you'll know what to simply do. But you're fortunate because I give all that information away right here on my YouTube channel. So if you're on Instagram, I forgot we said we're gonna say that. All you have to do is go to my bio, tap the link that says tap here for free training. That's a good domain name. Tap here for free training.com. I thought
I'm not sold.
It's on Instagram. So like people when they go to your link,
it's easy. It's something.
Yeah, it tell them what they do. You when I think of stuff like that, I always think in terms of if someone that's not tech savvy, if they see it, well, they know what to do.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't think like y'all techies or people that's used to doing all this stuff. I'm trying to always think about the person that they barely can turn a computer on or can't turn one on at all. So barely can use their phone or whatever. Besides texting, calling, or just calling in a lot of cases, or whatever. So.
All right. This is another question on Instagram. Do you use another app or website to find owners of houses besides the main one you use?
For houses, mainly just prop stream, aka Dealulator, whatever. Recently picked up a new service. It's expensive. I can name it. You can pay for it if you want to, but Land Vision, but it's really expensive. But it was more targeting land, even though it still pulls up houses information, whatever. But mainly, if you're interested, just text the word tool on that. Boom, and text the letters. D for D. The D stands for
Driving.
The 4 stands for the other D stands for Black girl is a genius.
Smart.
All right, we got another one on Instagram. As a beginner wholesaler, would you recommend starting in your own hometown, or is it easy to just do it online?
In most cases, if you're in a decent sized city, it's normally going to be easier to do it starting a city from just a standpoint of familiarity. I think I said that right. Just that alone gives you an advantage because you're familiar with your market, or at least a part of it. Maybe not all of it, but a part of it. Now, where the endless opportunities more so will exist, yeah, when you're targeting properties in multiple markets. Now, land really opens that up to allow you to virtual wholesale. Even though you can do that with houses on a high level, you can really do it with land because the door is always open and the seller and the buyer are less likely to have to meet. So then the seller doesn't have to show the property unless it's next door to him. The the door is always open unless it has a fence, and that can be jumped.
Lord.
That's what's the word? Allegedly.
That's what somebody told us.
I would hate somebody so you can jump and get up there.
Now, who said that?
Nah. You didn't see the sign that say electric fence.
All right, somebody is in the Gator room. Mr. Jason Smith. So I'm about to add him. Hello.
Hey,
Mr.
what's
Smith.
going on, everybody? How you doing, Ty?
Oh, I'm good. What about yourself?
Doing pretty good. We're here in the wonderful state of Michigan, and I have a very unique situation. I'm just getting started, but the wealth of information has been piling up. So I have a unique situation wherein I have actually some relatives that have to be moved out of their place in the early summer, June. It just so happened that the landlord in particular said, hey, do you guys want the house? Well, they don't want the house. So the bells went off in my head saying, okay, well, maybe I can get him to, let's get a deal on it. I've done my research on the property. But I want to kind of gauge myself not to jump too soon on it because they need time to move. All right. In my research, he actually owns about 8 other properties. And one of his reasons why he's given up on he's trying to sell the home is because he's moving back to China. All right. So he's of Asian descent. So this is a kind of a very unique situation. So I'm kind of making sure I don't mess up, as far as timelines are concerned. My question is, to get to the chase here, is should I inquire of other properties, because he's got other properties in Oak Park, Michigan. Warren is a really big hotspot here in Michigan. And so should I inquire of other places and kind of gauge the closing time of this particular apartment maybe later on in the summer to give them time to move and get going, because they're actually our relatives. So.
Okay, so your relatives are renting from someone that wants to sell.
Yes, he wanted to sell it to them directly, but they have no interest in keeping it.
Okay, all right. So is that the only people he only wants to sell to them, or you're not sure about that?
I'm not sure, but it sounds like he was pretty. He was letting her know. By the way, I lost the reason why. One big thing, my baby brother passed away in September, and so they've been kind of left with kind of a quagmire. And so I'm being the brother, just trying to see if we can kind of work out a deal. Now he doesn't know me. He doesn't even know me personally, by the way. They've never even met me, and so this is definitely a unique situation. I'm not sure to answer your question. I'm not sure about that. But he seemed to be kind of looking for a buyer when he asked her in particular,
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you, from your research, you showed that he owns other properties?
Correct.
And he's moving out of the country?
He's moving out of the country, going back to China where he came from.
Okay. All right. So normally the way this will work is if you'll get him to give you the price on 2 of the properties, right?
Okay.
That'll let you know if he's in La La Land or not. Now, he may be open to owner financing, unless he's just never coming back here and not concerned about trying to receive any money, cash flow from here. But normally people do rentals because they do like the cash flow. So First you want to get the prices that he's interested in selling 2 of the properties, but normally after about 2 of them, you realize that, hey, he's in, this ain't set in stone, but normally that means you'll know he's in La La Land or not. Or there may be a tremendous opportunity there. Now, offers are free, regardless of what he says. You can always offer and counter. But assuming that he doesn't give prices that make sense as a wholesale deal, then I would I would definitely transition and ask him would he be interested in owner financing, basically him acting as the bank. So now he can get the cash flow associated with being a landlord, but he won't have the landlord responsibilities. So that may be attractive to him if presented that way. But first of all, you got to see what would he be willing to sell those properties for before you would do something like that.
Okay, great. Now let me ask you a question, because I'm learning a lot in this industry. I haven't closed my first deal yet, but I'm cool. I'm really not tripping. I'm getting educated. Where do I go in your repertoire of things to see or be educated on to learn more about owner financing? Where do I go?
I actually have a video, but if you do Flipman owner financing, I have 2 or 3 videos over the years that I've done. And then I probably have done a live stream or 2 on it. Also, what we're doing right now. So just do a search on YouTube for Flipman owner financing or Flipman seller financing.
All right. Really appreciate it, guys. I won't take more of your time. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Appreciate it. Guys, have an amazing day. Okay? Take care.
No problem at all. Good luck to you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You sleepy?
No. You know what? I think I got a root beer back there. I think I got a root beer back there.
You want me to get it?
Yeah.
Because you're sleepy.
What you got, Kimbo?
All right, we have another question on Instagram. How can you set up the market feature on the Batch Leads website if your computer does not have the market feature available on the Batch Leads website?
Well, you would have to reach out to support to see if they what's the potential issue there. They're pretty good at getting back to you. So.
All right. What's the biggest deal? This is from Make It Out the Garden. What is the biggest deal so far
For me
Yeah.
on a house? I've never done 6 figures on a house. I think 60 is the most on a deal, on a wholesale deal. But I've never done 6 figures on a house.
That's so good. Wonderful.
I don't know what time that is.
You said what?
I don't know what time that is.
All right, this is another question on Instagram. How do you know when you have a good deal? That's Kenneth Willis.
He said, "How do you know if you have a good deal?"
Yes.
Boom. Okay. Ken, guess what we got?
What?
Yes.
For it?
GD. Good deal. Just text this letters here, and boom, that'll get you going. And then where is it? Where is she? And then text these letters, ARB, as the to finish that off. And that'll explain. I love Ruben. You like Ruben? You don't? Can you like Ruben?
All right, this is another question on Instagram. Good evening,
Y'all probably like some old bull. Crap, like some Mr. Peel or something like that.
Ooh, why? You just still in this?
Mr. Peel.
Oh, Mr. Peel.
What I said?
I don't know.
You said Mr. Peel.
Okay, what you say?
This person said, "Good evening, wholesale family. Where do you recommend I find VAs to cold call, and how much is the CRM?"
Where to find VAs to cold call? Well, Fiverr, FIVERR.com, Upwork are 2 places, and then just Google. You'll find a lot of quote unquote VAs. A lot of VAs that oh, they can't hear me?
No, they can hear you, but I have to move it over there because they.
Oh, they can't hear Jessica.
And or people
I
who
thought-
that come on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we need a 4th one. We can do that. We got that. I'm saying we already got it. All we gotta do is
I'm
just
saying this
change the
it's
channel
not
on it.
connect to. Oh no.
Yeah, all we gotta do is change the channel and then attach it like I got attached here. That's all we gotta do. Y'all, what? So anyway, but yeah, Google, Fiverr, Upwork.
It's literally gonna look like a whole news station by the time he gets there. It's sick. Okay, y'all. Zion from YouTube asks, how do you determine rehab costs?
How do you determine rehab costs? Okay. We have a calculator for that. Now, simple. This is a generalization, not always set in stone, but normally it works. If the house is livable, multiply the square footage times $25. If it's not livable, $40. You can make some adjustments if it's only a rental area, or if it's a higher end area, you may go up to $50. If it's a lower end, just for its pricing, only rentals, really not a fix and flip area, then you may go down to $15. But for the most part, $25 if it's livable, $40 if it's not livable. What am I trying to say?
ARV or the calculator?
Oh yeah, you just text RC for repair calculator.
So this is a related question. She had asked about repair costs, but she also said if she doesn't have contractors, would you advise getting them?
What's her name?
Royal K.
Royal K. You really don't need a contractor if you're trying to wholesale. That's basically what I just explained now. If you text RC to the number that's the repair calculator, RC, to 205-964-5243, that video will take you to the link on the repair calculator on dealyourlater.com.
All right. TJ said that he made 6 calls today. He's in Dayton, Ohio. Either they tell me I shouldn't have their number or it should be off the list. So they tell me to stop soliciting or they're going to call the cops. What is another way?
6 calls, and that's you're doing it the right way. I don't know where you got those 6 calls, those numbers for those 6 people. You're gonna get that, man. You know, now cold calling ain't for everybody, but you can get all kind of crazy stuff. I had a dude told me he was gonna find me, and it wasn't a cold call, it was a robo call. It was gonna blow my head off. He had a 38. This was a message he left. He had a 38. He was gonna
Get him blocked too.
blow whoever, he know who was responsible for it, but if he found him, he had a 38, he was gonna blow their brains out. That's what he said.
That's a threat to your life.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my, what is going on in his miserable life?
I'd have been like, dang, sir, are you the one with the 38? What's the age of your roof?
No, that's how those people get.
Why would you consider selling stuff?
And why would you consider selling your house? That's still extra. All right. This one says, hold on. Let me go to the next one. They said, I have a question about your Facebook page. Are the people recruiting to coach in your group working with you?
Well, it depends. It's supposed to be if they're saying they're working for me, it's supposed to be them working for me. Now it's over 60,000 people in there, so some stuff gonna slip by. But yeah, that's one of the methods that we use to contact people to see if they're interested. If you screenshot what you've seen, if you don't think it's legit, just text it over to me. I would love to see what you're referring to.
All right, Nathaniel from Facebook says, so to get started on my education and search for deals, should he start by subscribing to dealyourlater.com?
Well, if you want to sign up for that as a tool, text the word tool, and we'll train you for free if you sign up through Deal Your Later for the tool, which is PropStream. Text the word time to get the free training. But you don't have to have that, but it makes it easier. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to do deals for you, but it can make it easier to do deals, if that makes sense. So if you can afford it, it's a no-brainer to have. It's a wealth of information at your fingertips, literally, on your smartphone, tablet, while you're on the go driving for dollars, whatever.
Okay.
Somebody said time. Because you said take the word time.
What they said?
They put on Instagram.
Time? Oh, no. Text the word
Text
time.
it.
Text, see that number there? That means
That's a phone number.
take out your phone.
You're doing that part.
Now, you're probably on Instagram, so you can't do it. So this is the phone number. You're going to text the word time, and some magic is going to happen. Like some wizardry. This is wizardry we're doing right now, ain't it? Some witchery.
I'm buying that up. I don't do witchery.
Huh?
I don't know.
This is witchcraft.
Witchery.
Being able to communicate and see people.
That is kind of like.
It is.
Yeah.
We can see somebody from
Another dimension.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like this some real Star Trek stuff.
Bibbidi bobbidi boo.
Everything is happening off of, well, I ain't gonna say everything, but a lot of the stuff like long travel with we didn't got past the flip phones. You
What's
know,
gonna be the next after this show?
you know how that stuff was made. I think those episodes was in the 60s. I forget what the guy's name is that was the writer, creator of that. You know how visionary that had to be? He was at least 60 years ahead of his time as far as thinking of stuff like that.
Yeah. But we say that, but we think of stuff all the time. We know it's not happening right now.
Well, you ain't putting it on paper no way. Ain't nobody
Well,
did
let me
no
start right
ain't nobody
now.
did no whole
They better
show
put
on
it
it. well,
Where is the evidence?
well, let me just say this. See, basically from the, I'm gonna say maybe the early 1900s, there's probably more innovation and inventions and tools and stuff that happened that last 100+ years than the other 2,000 or 3,000 years.
Yeah, that's true.
That's amazing. Like in that 100-year+ window, more has happened technology-wise than the other 3,000 years before that. That sounds, somebody will do a real documentary on that. Like, we had this for hundreds of years. They only did it for this way with no deviation from it for hundreds of years. Basically like a buggy and carriage. You know what I'm saying? Probably up until the 1800s or whenever they started doing trains or whatever, the only way you travel. Buggy and carriage, horse, buggy, travel, or feet.
My God.
Then came the car.
I think that's
And
what took it to the next level too, because then you're able to get with people. They designing something, somebody else designing something. Boom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of stuff happened. Yeah. Interesting. I like stuff like that. As you can tell, I get excited.
All right. Let's see. This one says, "Hey Flip, do you absolutely have to have boots on the ground to do a virtual deal? I live in Florida, but I would like to branch out. Not having luck in Fernandina."
Well, you don't. I'm gonna say you don't absolutely have to have it, because some deals can line up perfectly, right? Where you don't have to have someone there to represent. The seller lives out of town, the buyer lives out of town, and you out of town. Then you know what I'm saying. You could probably make that happen. But when the seller and the buyer meet and you don't have any representation there, you have to be very good at selecting individuals that are going to go out there that's not going to circumvent you as far as buyers, right? So if you can accomplish that, being very selective in what buyers you'll send out to an address to meet with an owner to show the property. If you can't establish a lockbox being placed on the property, then the world is yours. Now, it's a lot easier to do that with land or whatever, because like I said before, the door is always open. You don't normally have to, unless the land's next door to the owner, or they out there just watching their property. You think people just do that? Now I'm gonna see if they're gonna stop by here and look at my piece of land. What are they doing here? I'm talking, they don't live there. You know what I'm saying? It's like we here in Birmingham, but the land is Center Point. I mean, we're in Hoover and the land is Center Point. They just over there all the time, just watching it, making sure don't nobody walk on it. You think there's some people like that?
It might be.
But we're assuming it ain't that many. All right, but anyway, so text the word MUD, and that'll get you going on the land or whatever.
All right, this one says, "Hey Ty, I talked to a seller today, and I knew she wanted an offer to shop it. Even she even said so. How do you typically handle those sellers?"
I personally don't like to compete for deals. That's probably being very ignorant, which I've been known to be on a lot of things. But I generally, that turns a turn off to me. They're not motivated. When they're trying to get your price, and I rarely win those deals. Rarely, right? Especially when they let me know, they probably doing it. A lot of people are doing it. You don't know they're doing it, but when they let you know they're doing it, I can't even think of a situation where that turned into a check for me. I know this is what Tyrone normally tell him. Oh, if that doesn't work out for you, hit me back. You know, I ain't put another thought into it.
I don't chase, I attract.
Oh, that's what's up.
This says, "While driving for dollars, I found a couple of owner-occupied homes that have owners that have lived there for 10 to 20 years. How do I determine if they want to sell, or should I just reach out?" You just reach out.
You just got to reach out. You know, offers are free.
This one says, "I purchased the program and I still don't have access."
Mr. What's his name?
Terrence.
Okay. A couple of things are going on there. Number one, it ain't the place for that. question. We
We usually handle those off air. Sorry, I just be reading sometimes.
Yeah, no. Number one, but we have a support. We have support that just dedicated to that. Normally that means, and you can email me. I'll be glad. Text me, and I'm glad to send you these instructions I'm about to give you. That means you're not checking the email you made the payment with. The email address that you used, there was a typo, or the email address that you use is in your spam. It's one of the three in most cases. Now, what you can simply do is go to your email and do a search within your email. There's a bar at the top, no matter what service you use, and just search Wholesale Secrets, and it should pop up. So other than that, that's those are normally going to be one of the three issues that you're experiencing. But if you email, I'll text you more detailed instructions that'll give you a visual on that. But if you haven't gotten it, again, send us an email to support@flipmasterclass.com from the email address that the payment was made. But you have to include an email address before you make the payment. So there you go.
All right, this one came from Devin Love Hub or Divine Love Hub. They said, what is the best technique for comping land, comping via other land comps, or new construction homes? And if you are doing new construction as the comp method, what type of homes, like 2 to 3 bedrooms?
Well, ideally, it's similar to houses, but if you can find some data as far as actual properties being sold, meaning land or lots being sold, you're trying to be as close to your property as possible. If it's in a subdivision, those are easy. If it's in a subdivision where new houses are being built or have been built, and there's an infill lot, meaning there's a vacant lot between houses on the side of a house, then if you have other lots that have sold in that same subdivision, those are easy to determine, what they're selling for. But that's not the situation. You may have to take several blocks or a radius of a mile, sometimes out farther than that, depending on the market. But you're just looking for similar properties that have sold. That's one way. You can also use Zillow for that, and you can use Zillow to just search for that address without any actual house number on it or street number on it, and do filter out under type, just only lots and land, and then for sale. And look at those. Then what you want to do is look at the size of those lots, the pricing, and then look at how many views they have and how many days they've been on the market. So if you see a property that's been on the market 3 days and it already has 1,000 views, that pricing is probably right? And if it's similar to your property that you're targeting, as far as size and it's closer in location, assuming it's not in a flood zone, which that sometimes doesn't matter depending on where you live, because everything might be in the flood zone, then that's something to compare to. But if it's the same situation, it's been on the market 3 days and only has 32 views, they probably have it overpriced. So those are a couple of methods that you can use. It'd be easier if I could show you in a visual. I said I was going to do a video on that in a few days or whatever in the next week or so, hopefully.
You have it? Oh. All right. This one says, hello, everyone. I have a commercial nail shop. They want to sell and move. How would I wholesale it? And would you partner with me? Would you like to partner with me?
So basically, they're trying to sell a business. So you need to collect the data. If they don't own the building, obviously the rental rate, which is the lease rate, which is an expense. But you need to see what their income is, what are their sales, that's the income, sales are, and what are their expenses. And at that point, you come up with some form of a profit annually. And normally people are trying to sell stuff at 2x their annual profits, 2 to 3x. So that's a little I know about business flipping or whatever, but it's a possibility. Like with anything, it needs to be a good deal.
All right. MK Mitchell said, "Hey, Mr. Taylor, what do you think about hard money asking for 3 to 6 months of reserves separate from your down payment?" He also said, "Asset funding is another word for hard money. Best hard money. Thanks."
I think you probably find better terms out there than that. I think you can find better terms than that. You didn't say how much the down payment was, though. The down payment might be a lot less than some of the other lenders, even taking in consideration that 3 to 6 months of reserves separate. So we need to know the down payment percentage.
All right. You want to do the topic or you want me to keep going?
No, I'll go ahead and we'll do the topic.
Okay.
Okay, so what is we got here?
Should you
Is wholesaling real estate for you?
mm-hmm.
Is wholesaling real estate for you? Well. So you're here, and obviously there's a strong interest in it. So, like with any business, every business ain't for everybody, right? So this is a business, and I've personally tried a lot of different opportunities. I was talking to my barber yesterday. I do have one. He grooms. He's my groomer. I'm probably better identified as a groomer. But we were talking about, he and I was close in age, so we were talking about some of the MLM opportunities we were presented early on when we were younger. You know what MLM means? You know what it means, Ken? Multi-level marketing, network marketing. You heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's another term for it. All right, so that was when my entrepreneur juices had first started when I was in my early 20s. So I wasn't one of these that grew up always. I was the one selling, lemonade, and I don't know about that buying that anyway. Stuff. I just wasn't no kid like that. Saw that happen for me later in my life. For a lot of people that are entrepreneurs, somewhat they've always done stuff like that, selling candy at school and all that stuff. Y'all knew have people like that, I'm sure, and they probably still getting it in now. They still, they're doing it or whatever. So I wasn't one of them. So it happened for me in my, early 20s. So anyway, so one of my homeboys, one of the guys that I look up to, back home or whatever, grew up a little older than me. He invited me to a meeting, a business opportunity in Tuscaloosa, less than an hour from here. And so the guy gave the spiel, about this opportunity on the ground floor opportunity. You hear that? Well, you need to run. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Because some people make money with that. But that's a normal phrase that they use. Yeah, a ground floor opportunity. And so my boy didn't. So it was Amway. Y'all know what Amway is?
The train?
Amway, huh?
Like
No. It's I don't know. I'm assuming that's what they still call it. It might be called something different now. But it's one of the more, especially back then. I think it still exists, but it may be a different name. It was one of the more well-known MLM businesses, and so but they offered a lot of different products. So now that's the way they say, well, you shouldn't buy your soap or your dishwashing or your paper towels from the grocery store or wherever. Why better you don't make any money off it? But if you buy it from us, you actually get to get some savings and you somewhat make money on it. Then you could teach other people how to do the same thing, and each time they buy, you get a percentage of that. So what my boy didn't get, he was just so gung-ho. He said, oh man, I can get this stuff at a discount and I can go sell it at schools and all this stuff. He didn't get, no, that's not how you make the money. The money is recruiting. You got your boy down here. We need to get him to sign up. And the dude was trying to tell him that without telling him that. He kept trying to reel him back. No, you're going to spend your energy on the wrong thing. You got to recruit to get people in. That's how the money made. Well, see, what people don't understand about MLM, I ain't saying it's a bad thing because a lot of people have made a lot of money, but it ain't for everybody is the point I'm getting to. But anyway, what people don't understand about MLM, it doesn't matter what they're selling. It can. Right now, the earrings you got on, we can start doing MLM on them. We can start doing an MLM thing on it. It doesn't matter. We can start doing MLM on clean air. We can put out this we can put out this handkerchief that you see if you breathe through it like this, the air gets cleaner. It doesn't matter because the money's made on how many people you get in. It doesn't matter about the product or service that's being sold. They've done MLM. A lot of people get into Forex or being introduced to it because of MLM. They used to have this company called
that It Works.
Oh my God, so many. LCI. They're just waiting for a lot of these people time. LCI and Excel, these were telecommunication company. You could say you get into the basically everybody had pages. You get into this business, and people get their phone service. You can sell them the long distance cards and all that stuff. So you had your own telecommunications company. Yeah, that sounded good, but that ain't how you really made the money. The way you made the money was getting other people to sign up. I remember this meeting I went for LCI. The guy said, the first thing came out of his mouth, and I was in college now, so I was dead broke. He said, if you don't have $7,000 right now that you can put your hands on, you are dead broke. I was like, oh my God, so I'm so broke, I can't even put two pennies together. And so I said, damn. So at that point, so we go through the whole thing. So they tell you how much money you need and stuff. So I didn't even have that money, just to do the little package they want you to sign. It wasn't probably about $200. I ain't have it. You know what I'm saying? And so anyway, but that stuck in my mind when he said that. And he basically went on to say the reason he used the number 7,000. This is back in the early 90s now. He said normally for most people that's about 6 months of living expenses. Right, that's what he was referring to or whatever. So, well, my point is, I tried all that stuff, and I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I ever made some money with MLM. Let me back up. I only tried prepaid legal. The other stuff, I didn't have any money to do it. The only thing I tried was prepaid legal, and I was sold on that. Now, I actually thought I could do that. You know what I'm saying? And I did at least make my money back for the initial investment. But that's right before I started learning about real estate. I tried, we went to Daytona Beach, 1995, right? My brother, two of my cousins, and one of my brother's really good friend, which is one of my friends too. And we met one of my brother's friends that lived in Orlando. He drove up to Daytona, to hang out or whatever. And he had started this mobile car wash business. And so I was just about to graduate college. I had like one more quarter left. We was on quarters. I had one more quarter left. And, but I had just got my, financial aid, student loan and stuff. And so when he told me he had did 6 figures, doing that the first year he had did it,
you got your refund.
I couldn't wait to get back to Birmingham. I bought a baby blue, formerly van with the seats in it when people you could like a church van. What do they call them? Anyway, church van. But all the seats were gone out of it. I paid $700 for that. When it bought me a pressure washer and me a 100-gallon tank, and strapped that baby down in there, I was in business. And bought a sign to put up when we were out washing. That was the spring of 95, I was in business, right? Now, I made a little money because I had my cousin and one of our friends we went to high school with, and we was getting, that was a hot summer too. Ooh, it was like there was days over 100 degrees in the ham. And so I was cool with that. I ain't had no problem working outside like that until it got cold. So that October rolled around, and that first morning, it was 40-something degrees. We had to go out and go to
Did y'all make enough for the summer?
Hey, I said, that's the end of that, right?
Why y'all didn't just do it for the summer?
Or that was my intent. Then I thought, then I need the money. I seen I'm selling the van and all that stuff. And I gave the press route to my brother. So anyway, my point is, everything ain't for everybody. So I got introduced to, after I was going through the prepaid legal thing, I was sold on it. I was all in, telling everybody I knew, you know what I'm saying? I was trying to get people in. And I sort of still didn't get it myself because I was pushing the service more so getting you to sell it. And then you get somebody else to sell it, because that's where the money is really made or whatever with MLM. So when real estate came along and I learned about if I put out signs, people call me. All I got to do is put it on the contract and somebody will buy my contract. Oh, that clicked to me perfectly, you know, because now my insecurities or just being an introvert didn't matter. It didn't matter. All I need to do is figure out what to do. And so I bought a course, and that allowed me to figure out what to do. And I don't know, I often wonder what I would have continued it if I didn't have early success. I did a deal, once I actually did something, I did a deal in 30 days. I often wonder now, the second deal, it took 2 months to do. The first deal only took 30 days. So I did that in March. I didn't do the next deal to June. That's really 3 months, ain't it? I do the next deal until June or whatever. But I was a believer at that point. I knew it would work or whatever. So my point is, you know, we go through all types of situations. Everybody's life experience is different. Knowing if something will work for you or not, a lot of times you just don't know until you actually do it. All I can say about this is that the barrier to entry ain't money. It ain't credit. I don't know if that's it. Because a lot of businesses have to be started because you got to have either the one or both or whatever. So the barrier to entry ain't money. It's not money and it's not credit. So, you know, everything else is going to depend on you as a person and does it fit you. Everything ain't for everybody. I'm not going to sit and tell you everybody will be successful at doing this, but anybody can do it, if that makes sense. So I had a little soapbox moment. Y'all let me do it too.
You did, but it was.
But I ain't
that was on topic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. LCI, my boy said, you ain't got $7,000. You is
So you don't have no idea what you would do if the 2 deals didn't work out?
What I be doing now?
Yeah, if they didn't work out.
I'll probably still there. I had them pass the little manager test.
Oh. So you was thinking about the future.
Oh yeah. I had to try to maximize the opportunity there, but you know, I had to pass the little manager test or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's what you inspired to be there as a manager. Now let me just say that they had a lot of transition since then, and a lot of people that I started with. It's very few people that worked there when I started that crew I started with that's still there.
But that's good.
David Yeoman, as far as I know, David Yeoman's still there. Jessica, you know what I'm saying? But that's where we met or whatever. So, but yeah. So
I bet you know that.
So yes, you know. So, but a lot of the people we started with, because that was like a job. You know, that was a job to get. You got a job at Bell's house? Oh, it was over with. American dream. You know what I'm saying? That was at 20-something. Yeah.
Your friend was up there first or something?
Well, this is what happened. You want to know that story too? I hadn't really never considered applying for that, right? You know what I'm saying? But I was working at the post office. I like working 3 or 4 jobs. I always had been like that way. And so the girl I was dating at the time, and she had got a job there. That's how I first found out about the internet, is because when she started working there, you know, they had the internet at Bell's house. And so she had came.
That's how you found out?
That's how I found out about the internet. And so she had came on to work with them. I went over to her apartment or whatever, and she was like, wow, they got this thing called the internet, blah, 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 blah. She was just explaining it. And so guess what I do? I bought her a computer, right?
Not yourself.
Not myself. Well, I was terrible. I shortly bought myself one, But I bought her one first.
Typical Ty story.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. Just I might have some money. I might have some money.
Typical. Never surprised.
Oh my
But that
God.
is a good trait, though.
But anyway, so I applied for it and got hired or whatever at Bell South, and I was that was one of the happiest days of my life. I ain't even gonna lie to you. When I got hired, I worked at AT&T when I was in college, but only for 18 months. It was sort of a temporary gig. I was happy that day. I was happy the day I got hired at the post office. Ooh, that was like slave pit. But I was happy the day I got hired.
People hate the post
Oh, it was
office.
terrible. And then I was happy the day I got hired at Bell South. Huh?
You probably talking about it because it's a decent job. You making money.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I was, man, yes. See, I done did some hard work. I know that being able to do an air conditioned job.
Man.
Huh?
The story about the hay is so funny. Not the kind, but the hay.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I was like,
Oh,
we're going to
yeah.
be like, hey, you had to.
Oh, yeah. Me and my cousin, and we're glad to do it. Huh? Yes. We haul hay all day for $20.
Slavery.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Not me.
$20? A whole
That's what I'm
Christmas?
saying.
You know what I can do with $20? Oh, my
You
God.
could have took your risk.
At 14 years old? Woo.
They got you.
They
You
got
got
you
like,
good.
I need to go back and get you.
Mr. Sam Wood.
Is he still alive?
Come out. No, he's been dead.
Oh, okay.
Come out there paying at them 20s.
Dang, he did y'all wrong. That's something
Hey,
about
boy.
Hey, answer these two little last questions.
Yeah, I know I done went off on a dive.
So this one says, I see public records sold on properties when I'm on PropStream. What does that mean?
Well, all properties that are sold go through public record. Period. It just means it's recorded at the courthouse. Whether it's through MLS, that's why people, when they were tripping about MLS, I think y'all do know that it's still there. It's just they don't make it as easy to identify MLS properties versus non-MLS property, but all of them are public record. The actual transaction. That's free that's free information to the public. Now, if you're in a non-disclosure state, such as Texas and Mississippi and a few more, then it becomes an issue because at least MLS did still show the prices. Now, what they do is an estimation based on, from my understanding, mortgages in place or whatever, and what percentage they may have to pay down or whatever. So, but other than that, public record, that's where all transactions are recorded through the courthouse. That's public record. That's what it means.
All right, and last one. In what way can I help as a real estate agent?
In what way can you help as a real estate agent? Okay, well,
Lots of ways.
the main thing you could do, if it were me and I was an agent, I would try to meet as many wholesalers as possible, right? Providing CMAs, comping properties for them. Guess what, right? Your trade-off is what you have to understand. How do you say her name?
Madam Shante.
Madam. I thought that was Madonna. Okay.
Me too.
Okay, so Miss Shante, is that if wholesalers are doing what they're supposed to do, we generate a lot of leads, right? We generate a lot of leads that are not going to turn into anything. So what happens to those leads? They could easily be being referred to you, and some of those will turn into listings for you. So you may pay a referral fee, or however you can structure that, but also your trade-off is, hey, I'm available to you if you need any additional information about a property or whatever that you can't find on your own or whatever. So you could have so many leads coming your way. As far as listings, it could be ridiculous. So you should be trying to network with many wholesalers as possible, because we generate a lot of leads that are dead leads to us, but would be great listings for you. Sometimes in the lower end of a particular market as far as pricing, sometimes the higher end. At the end of the day, the checks spend the same. So that's what I would, so you want to offer yourself, and you're leveraging your agent's tool as much as possible. Now, I would encourage you to start, wholesaling yourself, What I'm saying, you want to try to network with as many wholesalers as possible, because that could be a lot of just listings just coming your way in abundance. I don't know why agents don't get that. I guess you don't know. But most agents don't realize how many leads have to be generated. So what are happening to those leads that are not deals for us? If you're not doing other things with them, there's going to be a ton of leads that don't turn into deals. Those could be listings. Not all of them, but enough for sure. I don't get it, man. Okay. We got so the EP single. All right, so we've been rolling pretty hard here. Hopefully the new mic is a lot better than before. If you didn't get your question answered, post it in the comment section of any video. We answer those on a daily basis. If you're on Instagram, tap the link in the bio to access my YouTube channel. It's literally all there. This will go live. Go into replay mode on all platforms. We didn't say anything about the dial. If you're trying to do cold calling, make sure you use you want to speed up things and be more efficient. Text the word dialer to the number. Nothing else. We can go old school, and we'll see you guys on the flip side.
Bye.
Flip man, it's the flip man. You want some money in your hand? Flipping houses without credit or your cash. Yeah, that.